connect, serve, and grow is what you can expect at the House of Reconciliation. Leadership, community, education, wellness, and participation is part of our plan for your spiritual growth and success. Family and faith is a core value for the House of Reconciliation, working to help people find their purpose. Want to make an impact in the kingdom? Ready to tap into your future? Meet us at the House Sundays with Pastor Reginald Campbell, www.houseofreconciliation.org.
They've carried us since the Garden of Eden, and so we have to own it. So let's give them a hand. We thank God for you. You've been super. Right? So we good? So right now, let me tell everybody we have no technical problems right now. I can't promise you in another 3 minutes we won't. But what we want to do is not waste your time this evening. We're going to come out of Galatians 5:1, Romans 12:1. Romans 12, verse 1 and 2. So I want to welcome in the Mother Church, the Mother Campus, to the Greenwood Campus, and also to those that are here in person and those that are joining us via our virtual campus and social media. We are thankful for you, and also to our global connections. I don't have them in front of me, but I am going to probably read them off on Sunday of the different new countries that the word is going into. And so I'm very grateful, and I'm also humbled that you will even take the time to listen. And what I want to share with you on this day is renew your spirit. And the number 10, according to the spiritual neurology of the number, it means testimony. And I know I've talked to several people today, and jobs are closing and people are being laid off, and some companies are reorganizing themselves. And so I want you to write this. This is the time to build your testimony. The God that we serve is totally aware of everything that's taking shape. So I want to encourage you, even before a storm begins, our faith has to be strong. So in Galatians 5:1, I'm only going to do an excerpt of that. It says, stand fast in the liberty wherewith Christ. And I just want to stop right there, because the Bible talks about being in Christ. Being in Christ is not always being at the church, because the church is a building. And God said, for God is a spirit, and they that. Okay. Sometimes we go to church and do church and don't worship God, because no one talks to us about the greatest gift God put on earth, and that is his spirit that dwells in humanity. So then here's what we're going to talk about. One, the strength within, and I said this earlier on the video. You can't pay off this pain. What do you mean? The reason I'm going to use the great Thanos is because he said something that was powerful. And then I'm going to give you the 10 characters briefly that was in it. And Thanos says it this way: as long as there are those who are unable to accept what was. The question would become, why? We replace a vase if it breaks in the home. We replace a tire if it's worn out. We replace friends because either they no longer match up to where we're going. Sometimes we replace jobs, and sometimes jobs replace us. But guess what we haven't replaced? Is a wounded spirit. And no matter what degree we have, what job we have, what title we have, what association we have, only God can heal the spirit. People can give us what we want, but wants are not always needs. So when we look at this, you can't pay off this pain. We can't spend enough money. We can't hide enough to get rid of this pain. Now, I'm going to say this to you, and it's going to sting a little bit. People hurt you in your feelings. But it's the enemy who broke your heart. Because he sets us up for false realities. What you have done may not be what God has called you to do. And society tells us that, everything is wonderful. Click your heels, Dorothy. You're no longer in Kansas. But no one teaches us how to deal with the storms. So when I look at Thanos, he says this: as long as there are those who are unable to accept what was, until you can heal and identify and rectify and resurrect from what broke you, you're not good for yourself or anybody else. Anything else is just making a movie. He said they will always interfere with those who are trying to embrace what can be. It is not people who stole your dream. It's the enemy who knocked down trees on your way to be successful. And so it wounds your spirit. Now, how does it wound my spirit? It's because my emotions were tied to it. Not my intellect and intelligence. And neither my purpose and my destiny. See, we look at whatever we get into as we're going to be here forever. Doing this job, having this car, doing all that. And God says, this is only an obstacle course for you. And I don't need your emotions. I need your intellect and intelligence and your faith to outgrow the wiles of the enemy. Does this make sense? So what I want to do with you is share with you these 10 personalities that was a part of the Avengers. The wizard, the one who can make the circles. Everything about him, he was self-righteous and arrogant. Everything about him was self-centered. And everything had to center around him. And he had to control everything. Is that you? Number 2, Thor. I'm better than you. I'm a god. But the problem is, Thor, you bleed. You've been defeated. Loki. Selfish, cunning, deceitful, hates the family because he was an orphan that was found. He was unique and odd. His culture was destroyed. So the king, who now tries to be righteous, was evil. Remember, he had a daughter, and they were tearing up and just taking all the gold and the silver from everybody. And once he got enough, he banished her because he wanted peace, because his conscience. When things happen, your conscience tells you you should have been thinking. Your emotions tell you you should have been doing. You can't do without a plan. Most people are acting in their life without a strategy. So Loki was selfish, hated family, sneaky, adopted, and full of hatred. There are some people that would just lie to you in your face. Oh, you're going to be fine. Yes, my God. Yes, come on to the cookout. We love you. You're going to be good. Some of us have a Loki in our life. The Hulk. Is this one of us? Always anger issues. Somebody say something to you, you snap off at a light pole. Snap off at a red light. Snap off at a disabled person just trying to get across the street. Yell at a homeless person because you think you better than they are. The Hulk, anger issues. Don't play well with others. Is that any of us? And so now these are the people who were going after Thanos. And everybody pointed Thanos as being bad. But every one of these characters had dark secrets and hidden pain. And they thought by becoming an Avenger that they could erase their nightmare. Until Thanos had people to play in their mind. What was the thing that Tony Stark built? I can't. Jarvis. Okay, and then Jarvis was recreated into something else that was trying to tear down the whole city. Who was that?
Ultron.
Who?
Ultron.
Ultron. See, you sometimes build your alter ego. You're one way at home. You're one way at church. And you one way with a fifth of chin in you.
The thing about Loki, he can actually shapeshift. So you can actually implement that into the lesson about we might have some Lokis in our life.
Yes.
They might shapeshift.
Yes. They might they over here, then they over there. And then they try to change and they create illusions. So then Tony Stark, egotistical maniac. So he created, what was the guy? Jarvis, okay, because Jarvis was his good alter ego. And who was the other guy? Ultron, who destroyed things because he was never happy with himself. This is why the number 9 is so critical. It says fruit of the Spirit. Everything we do need to operate from one spirit. And then they go over to it. One spirit. The fruit of the Spirit. Not apples and oranges and peaches and pears and grapes and onions. He said fruit of the Spirit. Look it up. Y'all look like I'm... So y'all are realizing there's some multiple egos and personalities that's been going on. Yes. Because we should only be operating out of our intellect and intelligence, which is our humanity, not our feelings and emotions. There's a lot of people incarcerated because they acted out of their feelings and emotions. Went off at the wrong time, at the wrong place, in front of the wrong people. Good-hearted people, but not balanced in their spirit. Because if you don't bury it, say it again.
It will bury you.
Come on, say it like you mean it. Get your neck together, because your neck look like you got hit. Like, what did you just? It'll. She's saying it like it'll bury you. I need you to put your back into it and say, the out of control spirits in our head will bury us. Doubt, fear. And so when I looked at the Avengers, the multiplicity of the personalities that were, and they all became the Avengers, and they all had a dark past. Tony Stark, egotistical maniac, dark side, made deals with the devil, trying to recreate humanity. What does that mean? Build on what you have. If you're only born 4 or 5, be happy at 4 or 5. If you were born 6'8", be happy at 6'8". Because wanting to be something else is an indicator that you don't love yourself. So then the other thing comes in is the delusional. Captain America. I'm right. Self-righteous. Captain America. He tried to hold everybody in place. And yet, when you go back in his time, he had his eyeballs on something that wasn't his. He always was Mr. Self-righteous. And always Mr. Unrealistic. How many people and associations do you have that's unrealistic? Can I bring it home? The job that you're supposed to have requires a 4-year degree. You trying to get it with a middle school education. Can I talk to men? God made you the head. You got a job. You don't have anything else working for you but a job. So how is your family going to survive? Because there's some people that just hate the color of your skin. So when they let you get up so far, Loki, and when you look like you getting, come on, too big for your pants. Any old people in here, you ever hear your parents say that? You getting too big for your pants? Some of y'all went, but y'all lying. This is a shame to be lying, and I'm trying to let y'all go home. Britches. Okay, britches. Okay. We got some bullshit. I'm like, no, I don't ever think that anybody ever said anything like that to me. I wasn't in that culture. I wasn't around, Bob. I mean, I don't understand. They'll set you up. Unreal. There's some people that will help you get off course. And they don't start physically with you. They don't even start mentally. They start emotional. That's how they draw you in. Remember when the Lord told Peter, Simon, Simon, Satan has desired to sift. See, you looking for the boom. And he just setting up little dots along your way. A lot of little Red Riding Hood. So you got Captain America, self-righteous, unrealistic, by the book, and a controlling personality. Some of us God would develop, but we too busy being in the way of the development. And we see development as tearing me down and making me feel ignorant. And we have this kind of culture thing where we deal with this concept of criticism. Yes, how can it be criticism if it's constructive? I need y'all to talk to me. If someone tells you better how to do it, I just want to know why you're talking. If you don't know how to do it, why are you talking? Which one of these characters are you playing? You don't want to hear what somebody else got to say? Now you done toe it up. I said it, toe it up. You didn't tear it up, you toe it up. And someone's trying to help you. But because you in your feelings, you in your emotions, and even if they walked away from you, you still can't fix it. Controlling personality. Think you know everything. I think I done hit a rock right there. I feel like, anybody tell me, where you going with that elementary kind of education, that elementary kind of mind? You ain't had no real spiritual warfare. You can't even handle the gremlins. And they were little. And don't pour no water on them. There's some people you can't say nothing to. Y'all don't act like y'all are old enough to remember the gremlins. Okay. I'm going to have to go get one of my grandson's toys. Tell him to bring me a toy. Because they got new toys now. So Captain America, it was self-righteous, unrealistic. And then you had the Black Widow. I don't remember her name. She hung out with the arrow dude.
Yeah, Hawkeye.
Hawkeye, that was his name. See, they could relate to each other because they done killed more people than they've been friends with. Thank you. See, we got new little gremlins. And so the Black Widow and the arrow dude, they could relate because they killed more people than they kept around. Ain't a minute. Come on and say, I've never killed anybody. Come on. Well, now some of y'all probably can't say that. Okay, but those of us, we're going to pretend that we hadn't killed nobody. Let's say, I haven't. Come on, let's say, I haven't killed anybody. Today. Okay. But let me take this a step further. The Bible says life and death. How many people have you killed with your tongue? And how many people have you allowed to kill you? Oh, you'll never do that. What are you thinking about that for? You just need to do your job. I think I want to go back to school. Sometimes you can't tell people what you're trying to do. Because they can't understand the moves you're making. And some of the moves you're making are God moves. God, why am I over there? Why am I listening to that little bald-headed man? Him don't even have no glasses on tonight. They right here. Okay. I couldn't find them. They right here. Somebody gonna get a check for me one day. And so you had the black widow who had childhood nightmares. She was somehow captive, and they did all kind of things to her body, and they brainwashed her, and they told her to use her body and her mind to take down men, to take down nations. How many people are puppeting you? Because they control how you think and how you breathe. They control your economics. They have your whole family in the palm of their hand. So then you had Don Cheeto. He was a what, number 2 Iron Man?
What? Yeah. What's his name?
Don't be cussing in church. Now they would get me. He didn't curse. He just said, "What's the chicken is this day?" But no, Don Cheeto. I can't think of his character. He wanted to fit in, so he couldn't beat nobody. He couldn't whoop nobody. So Tony Stark made him an Iron Man suit.
Iron Patriot.
Iron Patriot. Okay. See, some people they too short to play. That just hit home, didn't it? They too slow to play. They never get picked. Remember the Charles Barkley commercial when he was standing there and his stomach was hanging over, and there was another kid that they could pick, and he Charles like, yeah. See, there's some people that they just want to fit in. They just want to fit in and be like everybody else. You have to realize you can commit the same crime, but you don't have the same thumbprint. So you have to be responsible for your action. And you said the arrow guy, he had self-hate. He struggled to close the door of pain. And then there's the great Thanos, supervillain. He would kill whoever needed to be killed to carry out his delusional perception of the world. And he knew if he got the Infinity Stones that he could control all the universes. There's some people don't care about you, your future, your children's future. They are delusional, they hallucinate, they have hypothetical thinking, and they have an attitude, I want to be your God. Because you know what? The first sign of somebody wanting to be your God is they don't want you to think for yourself. The whole scheme of getting ahead is degrading you. So you think less of yourself and more of me. Which one of these 10 personalities are holding you back? You can't pay off the pain with trying to be something other than being authentic to yourself. You have to learn to live and love you when you're not even at your best. So here's the thing. How do we do this? Romans 12:1-2. Now, before we even deal with that, and you all can read that in your hearing, you have to understand, not only do you have the multiple personalities called schizophrenia, you also have an enemy within. You have your own Adam. You have your own Eve. And ask me, why do I have so much problem with my Adam or my Eve? Your flesh can't even stand your own success. Your childhood nightmares can't even stand your own success. Your DNA can't even stand your own success. Your innate inheritance many times can't stand your success. You know why? That's why Paul wrote, there's a war going on in me. Because what my flesh would do, God would not have me do. So your flesh get offended. Your flesh will talk you out of a good education. Your flesh will talk you out of starting a business. Your mind will talk you out of getting around people that make you feel insecure. The only reason you feel insecure is because you don't speak at their level. And that's the time to shut your mouth and learn. Learn their talk. Learn their language. Learn who they do business with. You're still doing business with Big Lip Willie down the street. You're still doing with people that's running the business out their house, and they going to change your tire in their backyard, but they got 3 other junk cars in the way, and they got to go get the tire. You done spent 4 hours when you could have went up there and had somebody to change out a tire, but you don't want to pay $80, but you done wasted 5 hours to get a $30 tire. Your own mind is an enemy to your future. That don't sound right, do it? Remember I said this, and someone said to me, I don't understand when I said you have to pray against yourself. Come on, Romans 12:1. I beseech you therefore, brethren. Look at y'all. Y'all they got it up on the screen now. They got it up on the screen. Come on. That who? What? Now let me put a twist on that. Not only do you need to present your body spiritually, you need to position yourself earthly. So there are things that you need to add to this body, like education, extended education, entrepreneurship, partnership, development. You have to develop your innate inheritance, and you have to build your spiritual inheritance. So when you're presenting, God didn't put you down here to be a citizen of earth and be broke and always under the auspices of another man or another company and afraid to do something for yourself. When you're successful, you're honoring God. When you're successful, the angels can give God a report. Lord, he prayeth now. Lord, he's representing the things that you put in him. Now, I might be wrong when I say this, and I have to search it. I don't think God ever used a poor man or a broke man. Now, I might be wrong. I know somebody out there tonight. Look it up. Let me know. Because the first man he called had money. So why you always begging? Because Abram worked his natural gift. But he didn't have nothing but some cows and some cattle and some goats and some sheep and some lambs and some chickens and some pigs. He had a whole lot, and everything Abram had produced. So you're going to look at God, I had a job, God. And God going to say, really? I sent you all the way down there to earth. They just have a job, and you're scared of it.
Is it a job like the minimal thing you need to like pay off stuff like rent, mortgage, light bill, water bill?
Mm-hmm. A job is a foundation to the beginning of learning how to do business and developing the skills. A job is a holding place for you to establish yourself, establish credit. But the problem is people stop with just a job. People stop with just a career. People stop with just one salary. They don't know how to split that salary and take that money and go buy something. Can I tell y'all something I shared with somebody Sunday? Other people have a house for 10 years, take the equity out of the house and go buy another house and then lease that house out, and the person that's renting that house paying both mortgages. Come on. Yes, sir. Yeah, come on. You got to say it loud. So then if something happens to their household, they have reservoirs built up, coffins built up. You're not going to get too far today with one check. You don't make enough to have one check. So people take the equity out of their home. People also take the equity out of their home and invest it when their child is in the 9th or 10th grade, and they go ahead and establish that loan for education. Then they take a certain bit of it and put it in a 529, but then they take the rest and put it in a high yield fund. Then they get a grant for their kid to go to school. Now they take their money and build wealth. And when they go eat downtown, come on, talk to me. They're eating with the interest where you spending your check. Every time you swipe that card, you are limiting your check. Because you just gotta. I shared that. I think I shared it with you. They turn around, they've been in the house 10 years. They've made all the payments. They turn around and say, well, how much? I need to get an appraisal, Bob. I didn't like what he said. Give me another appraisal. And then they appraise your house. Then they'll say, we're not going to take the 300,000. We're just going to take 150. Not 150, 150. And then we're going to go over here and put it down on the house. Or we're going to buy this duplex. Come on, talk to me. Come on, talk to me. Didn't you call me? Hello, Pastor. I just want you to know, I don't really need your prayer. I'm going up to Tennessee, and I'm going to buy me some property up there in Tennessee. Come on, holla at your boy. Come on. Did you not do it? See, now you want to be humble. Because now you're spreading your worth. And somebody said, well, that's debt. No, it's not. That's called collateral. See, some cultures see bills as debt, and other cultures see bills as building credit to get collateral. But if you don't have anything that can bring collateral but a car and some shoes, come on, and some rims and some glasses, you don't know who I am. I mean, I haven't seen, and when I go, people look at, listen, you don't have 2 nickels to rub. And that man out there with them plain khaki pants and that little simple shirt that you're talking about owned 12 houses. And he hadn't told anybody, but that's what people do. Because then they take what has grown, and if you don't have anything planted, you can't expect to have a harvest. And so then they take 1/3 of that harvest and they put it to work. So the person that moves in, oh, hallelujah, thank the Lord. Oh, child, I got somewhere to live. And you paying 2 mortgages. Go ahead and nod your head. You married to him. Go ahead and say, surely is. We taking their money. Surely, we taking their money. And so then what we do with our money is we go invest it in something else. Come on, don't act like... Yeah, I'm glad you're not on camera, but you go ahead and just say, yeah. Give me a deep boy, yeah. Yeah. You go ahead and you be like, we're so happy, I sure appreciate y'all letting me live here. 2 mortgages. And you hear this, thank you, Jesus. Oh, God, if y'all can stick around, I can teach you something. Am I making sense? Here's where I'm getting ready to close. The past is over. Learn from it. The future's coming. Prepare for it. The present is here. Enjoy. But I got to give you this and we're gone. What is this saying? When I say you can't pay this pain off, you have to heal. And the only way to heal is getting back in line with God. And I don't want to give you this false reality with God. Every day with God is a challenge because you got to fight you. And then you got to fight the adversary. And then you got to fight to stay in God's will. But it's worth it. Because this is why the text said, take up your cross and follow him. Last but not least, this is a closing quote for you. And I didn't really mean to get on finances, but it's always a part of ministry. You have to change your narrative. Live today and struggle tomorrow has to change. So young man, You're coming up. How old are you?
16.
You just cannot continue. You cannot live this life how society wants you to live it. You have to pray and ask God for vision. What gifts have you given me, God? A job begins a blueprint to learn how to do business. But don't stop there. You have to pursue other things. Your wealth is not to be seen. Your wealth is to be felt. How effective you are. Now you can become a giver and help others. You can't help people and be in line yourself. You can't be a lender and a borrower at the same time. You got it. Trying to play tug of war with yourself. Because sometimes in hallucination, we get ahead of ourselves. So this is why the Bible says, I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercy of God, present your body. God doesn't want you coming with the gifts and talents that he's given you and you have done nothing. And you're going to tell God, you sent me to earth just to have a job. And Lord, they just paid me minimum wage. I didn't like that, Jesus. Present your bodies. So when you bring your body has wealth in it. You have something to show God. Thank you for this mind. Thank you for this vision. Ha! Lord have mercy. Thank you for the struggle, because the struggle became my stepping stone. Thank you for the brokenness. Thank you for those that said no to me, because it made me wiser. I thought, God, that you didn't want me to have it, and really it was a dead-end street. Thank you for rejecting me so I could find my path. That's why he said, I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercy of God, that you be a living sacrifice. Don't wait till you get old. And then be telling, oh, where we at? Huh? A man talked to me today. He said, man, if I'd have listened. I said, what are you talking about? He said, if I'd have saved $100 a month from the time I was 25, I would be a millionaire by now. So who you going to put that on, God or you? Because you can't reap a harvest that you never planted. Because the only thing left is one of these 10 personalities. So we have to remove this perception, live today and struggle tomorrow. Take less today and have more tomorrow. We can't pay this pain off. We have to be reborn spiritually. Because there are many people who have no debt but have no peace and no God. Come join us Sunday morning. God bless you. We'll see you soon. There you go. Get their tag number. All right. Thank you.